Hello, my friends. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to get off the subject of food again, and we're going to talk about how to breathe for better health and a peaceful mind. Recently, I've been going deeper with my meditation practice, and as I go deeper with my meditation practice and not sure what direction that's going to go in, I always want to still just focus on the breath as well. And so I kind of decided about a week ago that I was going to also, in addition to my meditation, that I was just going to do some breath work every day. And when I say breath work or pranayama or anything like that, don't be intimidated by that, because this is just very, very simple stuff right here. And I'm going to drop a video in the description below that'll probably explain a little bit more of the physical, just a little bit better than me. The breath has just been my lifeline. It's like, you know, over this last 6 months, and actually going back for many, many, many years. I even remember going back as far, I wasn't meditating regularly at the time, but I meditated a good bit. When I've told this story before, it's not a really dramatic story, but I got locked up in Panama in immigration for 3 weeks. And in the very beginning, until I saw, you know, that it was just going to basically be a chill experience, you know, I was kind of nervous. And I remember, you know, a couple of the first days just really being focused on my breath, like a large portion of the day, and that always helped me get through. And like I would even, in fact, they had to give me a medical exam for some reason, and I wanted my heart rate, my breath, all my blood pressure, all that to be as low as possible. So as I was leading up to that, I just practiced breathing. And like I say, you know, and the reason also too that I'm separate, that I want to do some additional, just in addition to my meditation practice, is when I meditate, so far I've been practicing, you know, pretty much mindfulness meditation and just simply following the breath, being aware of the breath. And it's supposed to be just the awareness of the breath. You're not really supposed to, you know, breathe a certain way. You're not supposed to force it. You're not even supposed to control the breath. It's just being, you know, that's the mind of the meditation part of it. It's just simply being aware of it, being aware of the in-breath, being aware of the out-breath. And sometimes when people do that, they don't necessarily breathe deep when they're doing meditation, and that's not necessarily the focus when you're doing meditation. But over the years, it's kind of a catch-22, or it's like the best of both worlds. Over the years doing mindfulness meditation, I have that's just my natural way of doing it. When I slip into meditation, after a couple of minutes, my breath is just long and deep, long and deep. And one thing I want to talk about, and like I say, I would encourage you, if you're really interested in this, and I hope you are, to go, you know, maybe check out some other stuff in addition to the link I'm going to drop below. But basically what we're talking about also too is with deep breathing, is put one hand on your chest and put one hand on your stomach. And basically, you know, you're not going to be completely still in this hand, but basically when you take an inhale, you want this hand on your chest pretty much to remain still, and you want the belly to expand. Now, a good way to do this, because when I watched a couple of these videos, I was curious. I'd never really paid attention to how many breaths I take per minute. So this might be something that would help you a lot. And also another reason I wanted to talk about it in this way is that a lot of times people get caught up in words, and when you're talking about meditation or meditating all the time, people can get, you know, they have associations with that, they have assumptions with that, and maybe it just doesn't jive with them. So this is you know, this is something you can do, and it'll probably, if you do it long enough, it'll sort of turn into a meditation, but that's not the thing. Now what you can do is just to, you know, you could get your phone, which I have in front of me right there, and say go in, you know, on your clock you can set a timer. Set your timer for 10 minutes, just a simple 10 minutes. You don't have to close your eyes. In fact, don't close your eyes. Be kind of aware. But once again, just let it be natural. Don't over force it or whatever, and play with it a little bit. But I found that I took 4 breaths in a minute. Just my natural, you know, just my natural thing. Not trying to go deeper than I normally do, but just naturally. So you can, you know, you can try that out. But that might be a great place to start if you don't meditate, you don't want to meditate, or whatever. It's just simply, you know, setting up. You could, if you've got a little tripod, or you could prop your phone up against something and just simply, put it on 10 minutes. If that's too much to start, 5 minutes, but come on, everybody can find 10 minutes in their day, and just sit there and just, breathe deep into the belly, deep in there. Let that body get oxygenated. That, like I say, this has been, you can just use that breath for so many reasons. I'm going to talk about a little bit of the, I've got some notes here, of course, like I always do. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the physical part of it, how deep breathing and relaxation activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which sends a signal to your brain to tell the anxious part that you're safe and you don't have to fight, flight, or freeze response, or have a fight, flight, or freeze response. Now, that's normally, what happens when we start getting anxious. And actually, I'm not a doctor. I don't want to, I'm just kind of saying maybe go look at some of this, or it can help. I'm not saying that you're going to stave off a full-on panic attack, but I even heard a couple of them talking about it's almost impossible to have a panic attack if you can get in there quick enough and focus and really start slowing down your breath, focusing on your breath. Once again, there's levels of anxiety out there, and there's some people that it's just so crippling for. I'm not saying that that's going, but breathing, trying to take control of your breath can always help a little bit. When we're afraid, when you're angry, when you're afraid, what do you tend to do? Your breath shortens and it gets more rapid. It's just like this rapid chest breathing, and that just like jacks you up a little bit more. If in any of those situations, you can just kind of even just turn your head for a minute. You don't have to go sit down and make a big thing out of it. I've done that, like I said, for many years, where I would just take a pause and take some deep breaths and slow myself down and try to diffuse the situation a little bit. It also, it helps to stimulate the lymphatic system, helps to lower your blood pressure and heart rate, oxygenates your blood, which can improve the immune system. Digestion can improve due to healthier blood flow. But it's something we all need to do. If you watch babies, generally, this comes to a lot of different things, but if you watch babies, we forget a lot of things from the time we're born until the time we grow up. If you watch a baby laying on his back, we'll talk about the physical. Baby can do all kinds of things. He can, that's why it's called happy baby pose. The one I haven't practiced in a while, physical, the feet up in the air. But kids can just do all kinds of things. They can move their bodies around. They're limber as can be. And infants, from young babies, from what I understand, breathe a little bit closer to how we're supposed to breathe. We learn these things over the years, and sometimes we just have to do a little work to undo the way that we've learned to do it. But like I say, it's not a cure-all. It's not something that it can change your life. I mean, like I say, without this practice, this sure would have been a little bit even rougher for me. But like I say, it's always something I can go to. It's an anchor. It's that lifeline. It's something that, without reaching out to anybody or needing anything physical, that I can always go to. And I've done that, in times when I've had, like when I was dealing with the teeth, and they're healing, not in any pain right now. There's times when I've had pain, or there's times when I had this thing in my rib cage I've talked about before for new people. It's called Chondrocostal Junction syndrome. I'm doing okay right now, having a few good days, but it makes it sometimes when it's flared up where I can't sit in one position for very long. It's more of a pain in the butt than it is really anything really terrible, but it makes it where sometimes I can sit for a little bit, and then I have to go lay down for a little bit, then I have to stand up, and I'm constantly moving around. Well, as I breathe or do my meditation, I find that the longer I do it, that it will ease off a little bit. So there's just so many aspects of this of your life, of your body, that breathing can help with. Go check it out. Check out that link below. I'm going to be this is kind of, I'm going into a contemplative place for these last 2 weeks of the year. I've got a lot on my mind. Not bad, just good stuff, kind of thinking ahead. But then again, I don't like to think too much ahead. I just kind of like to prepare myself to be ready for what is to come. And I'm letting go of a lot of things. I'm trying, you know, we're always, if we're as humans, we should be working on bettering ourselves, bettering our attitude, our mind. I'm trying to let go a lot of the, you know, of being judgmental to people and things, of just thoughts in my head that I don't care to have all the time, that I'm not happy with. But anyhow, I just want to do a little quick one for you here on the end of the week, and hopefully it'll be something that will resonate with you. Anyhow, hope you have a beautiful weekend. If you enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you know anybody out there that might benefit from a little bit more peace, a little bit more less stress in their life, and you know, just learn how to breathe, share this with them. But anyhow, I will see you guys again next week. Peace.